Good morning, guys. My name is Kelly, and welcome to Butte Mountain Homestead. This is my first video, so I'm really excited to be able to share a lot of things that I already do every day. I shoot a lot of, vlogs for Instagram and a few things on Snapchat, but I've been really kind of driven lately to want to make content so that more people can be inspired. I've learned all of this myself. Watched a lot of a lot of YouTube. I've read a lot of material. I do a lot of research, and then it's also a lot of trial and error. A lot of failures, some successes. I take all the successes and I just embrace them. And I also embrace failures. Had a few of them this season. We had this last few weeks, we had triple digits for almost 2 whole weeks. One week was 110 up to 114. Unfortunately, our air conditioner quit working. So, and we're in extreme drought. We're in Northern California, zone 9B, but it's pretty harsh, and this is the 3rd year for it. So we're on farmland, so we have domestic wells, and we're just plugging along the best we can. A lot of things suffered and died. Tried to keep as much watered as we could. So there were some sacrifices that had to be made as far as plants go. We tried to keep trees alive, the lawn alive the best we can. But glorious, we had 1.5 inches of rain this week. And so everything is enjoying it. Things are starting to cool off. A couple days in the 90s, and then we're going to go back down to the 80s and actually down into the 70s. So today I have a lot of projects that I want to tackle. I started this for inspiration and for documentation. Going back through Instagram stories is a little difficult, especially if you don't save them. Same with Snapchat stories. So I wanted to do this, like I said, to inspire at least one person. If they can realize that gardening in or doing any project in heavy clay soil, high pH, we have horrible winds. We're up on a hill, and just Northern California just gets windy. So May and June, we're hit hard. So I want you to come along with me. We have so many projects that we've done, but not nearly as many as that we want to do. I work part-time away from the home. My husband is full-time farmer here on the family farm, and so we do things as we can. We've got a lot done in the last few years, and I'll end up showing you pictures of before, things that we're working on, and the good, bad, and ugly. Right now there's a lot of ugly. The irises, they look like they're just dead, but they always bounce back. So like I said, I'm going to walk you through a lot of that. This isn't going to be a channel just for gardening and landscaping. I also love to cook. I love to craft, DIY, thrift, try to be as frugal as I possibly can, and just enjoy the process on all of it. You know, I'm looking right now. Right now, garden spears are really in, and so I wanted to see. For me, it's the thrill of the hunt and to see if I can do it for less. So I was able to take a $1.50 bowling ball and some regular old acrylic craft paint and some baking soda, and it turned out awesome. The spot that it's at right now is not its permanent spot because we are going to be developing a cold frame. I'm calling it a greenhouse. It's going to be also kind of a she shed, I guess. But we're going to be starting that here pretty soon. It's a pretty simple design. I'll link the plans down below of the company that I got the plans from. She's also on Instagram under the Hillside Market. Again, I'll link her. But it's going to be awesome. I mean, I've already collected all the stuff to go in it. I had to do starts for our fall garden inside. And funny thing with that is I started them in our shed. It was too hot, so they died. Moved them inside where I've done it the last 3 or 4 years, and they were going along fine. And then that's when the AC went out. so they died. So this is the third go around, and I think I finally got it. The broccoli for sure. Cauliflower, I may have to restart. That's fine. We have plenty of time. We garden year round. We have 265 days of planting, but I've gardened year round for the last 2 years for sure. And so it's wonderful. There's some frost. Our first average frost date isn't supposed to be until, let's say, the end of November, and we technically don't get frost until, if we're going to, February, maybe March. I mean, there's some cold nights, but actual frost. Last year we only had 2 nights of cold. We still wrapped all the fruit trees and the things that possibly not make it. Everything did fine. This year we did have a hard freeze, and a lot of our area lost a lot of their peach crops, apricots, a lot of their almonds. Our area is very high on the nut productions, so our area got really hit hard with that late frost. I actually had planted David Austin roses, 8 of them, and no frost on the forecast. I mean, it was supposed to be cutting close, and I should have waited, but I didn't. And 2 of them didn't make it, so I'll get those reordered this winter and get them planted. But I will take you along. I'm not going to do a full tour today. I'll do partial tour, excuse me. And like I said, I have a to-do list a mile long. It's gorgeous right now. It's 64. I mean, I'm in a flannel, and it's supposed to get up to 94 today. So I want to get a lot of that done before the heat sets in. And I just want to take you guys along for the ride. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope that you come back for more. It's going to be a fun ride. Like I said, I show the good, the bad, and the ugly. Some days I'm going to be in a ball cap, messy bun. It's just when you're working outside, it's just how it is. So I just want this to be someplace where someone can go to realize that there are failures showing, that someone's just not showing all the pretty. I mean, April, don't get me wrong, April, it's absolutely gorgeous. Right now, the end of September, it's a little haggard, but this is why I wanted to start it now, is because I didn't want to start off a brand new channel and have it be with all the pretty. I wanted to start a channel with all of this is what a harsh summer did to a place and how it's going to survive. Things might not survive. That's okay. We just, like I said, we learn and we move on. I try lots of things. I try anything that I can possibly think of when it comes to gardening, and what works best for us may not work best for somebody else, and that's okay. It's to inspire you and for you to do your own research so that you can try it in your own space. We do have a pretty large garden area as far as vegetable goes. We actually have a potager, and I intermix everything in there. You'll see in the tour. Our chicken coop is out there. We do have laying hens, but on the future horizon is goats for vegetation control, possibly our own meat, hogs, pigs, and meat chickens down the line. We already have our own beef, so actually we have one coming soon. Yes, we are meat eaters, so hopefully if you're not a meat eater, you'll just realize that most of this world is, and that's okay. I would prefer kind comments on here if possible. This world has enough bad and hate and negative going on, so just if you have something to say, just try to be kind. And if not, maybe my channel's not for you. That's okay. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the tour. Like I said, I show the good, the bad, and the ugly, and today's pretty haggard, but it'll get cleaned up, and it'll show you what it looks like before and after. So thank you for coming onto my channel, and I hope you subscribe and I guess, hit the notification button. This is all new to me. I've never done anything like this in my life. So I am a little nervous, and I know the videos will get better. And like I said, I'm going to show tons of content. So I'm going to try to be as consistent as possible and enjoy it myself. I don't want it to be stressful. I don't want it to be a full-time job. Uh, if that's where I'm led it to be somewhere down the line, then that's how it'll be. But right now, it's just to get going and get started on it and just have fun. So if I make a mistake, I'll probably be the first one to own it. Actually, yesterday, it's kind of funny. I was doing kind of a vlog for Instagram stories, and a few weeks ago, I ran some water to a willow tree because willows love lots of water, and we do have it in where runoff comes from our lawn to provide, supplemental water in between. And so I thought, I'm just going to go ahead and hook a drip line up to it right now off of our system that we have for our flowers. And I turned it on and it wasn't running water to it. And I thought, that's weird. Maybe I've over supplied the drip line and it's just not working. Even though it was downhill, it should be working. I'll deal with it another day, because when I have projects, I have a million of them and I'm just go, 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 go. And so I really didn't fix it. So I've been hand watering it. My husband can when he is able to. And I looked at it 2 or 3 times. It should be working. I don't know. So the rain came this week, gave it a good drink of water. There's already tons of growth on there from that. The lawn's also perking up too. And I happened to be walking past it, the setup, and I looked down, and I'll show you here in the tour, because like I said, it's gonna be a brief run, but it's a funny thing. It shows I'm totally human. But when I hooked the drip line up to the end of the drip tubing, the end of the drip tubing is kinked, and so I was trying to tap into just above where the kink is to shut the water off. And when I installed the drip, it's on the part that's kinked. So that's why there's no water going down to the willow, because there's no water in where it kinked. So I had to just laugh at myself. I told my husband that that's why the willow wasn't getting water. I shared it on Instagram stories yesterday. So anyways, like I said, it shows that I'm human. I laugh with it. I'm fixing it today. And you just move on. You fix it and move on. You try not to get discouraged. I do get discouraged, don't get me wrong. I get plenty discouraged, but I try to learn from it the best I can. Another example is I bought 2 yards of garden soil this year to top off all of our beds, to do our grow bags and such, and unfortunately it was not good. It was not good soil. I've actually referred to it as dirt because nothing did well in it at all. Our tomatoes did grow, but they didn't grow very well. Also, our spring, when it ended, it went straight to, it went from 70s, 80s to mid 90s to hundreds within a week. So everything, and it stayed that way. We're talking all of July, most of June, which was also high winds, all of July, all of August and September has all been basically triple digits. Few days here and there where it wasn't. But how I figure on the tomatoes is we don't eat that many store-bought tomatoes, but when we do, I don't buy organic. And so knowing that those are commercially grown with possible pesticides and herbicides, we still all eat them, So that's what we did with the garden. I quadrupled the amount of plants this year so that we could put up our own tomato products. Tomato sauce, salsa, of course, pasta sauce. I made my own ketchup this year. I'll link the gal, Living Traditions Homestead. I used her recipe. It turned out pretty awesome. And we won't have to buy ketchup for a year. Diced tomatoes, and then fresh eating, also fresh pasta sauce as well. So I wanted more, and now that it's cooled down, there are more tomatoes showing up, more blossoms. I do need to stake them up because they are getting heavy. So I tried different systems this year. I had 3 beds of tomatoes, and each of them was set up differently. So again, I'll show you that. I probably won't do 2 of them next year. One of them I will because I really like it, but 2 of them I won't do. So I'll use those pieces of lumber in the greenhouse for a part of the shelving. That's a lot of things we do too, is we reuse. I used to joke about my father-in-law saving every little scrap, and he does. He saves everything, but if he needs something, he has it. So I've learned to keep some stuff. I do get rid of some, but I've used a lot. Those little tiny pieces of drip tubing, you know, this thing to toss them, I use them. So I have a little area for that. But anyways, I'm going to kind of wrap this part up. I'm going to do a very, very brief tour, especially what I'm working on today, where our greenhouse is going to go, because I'm going to work on some stuff over there today as well. So I will show you the little mishap with the drip tubing down to the willow tree and that garden sphere. So I'll show you a few things. Like I said, it's pretty haggard, so please no judging. And the lawn needs to be mowed. So that's just, this is our life. So I hope, like I said, I hope you stick around. Hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends, especially for Northern California. There's not that many YouTubers up in this area. So hope you've gotten some humor and some inspiration out of it, because that's what this was meant to be. So I'm going to end this part with, please be kind to anyone. That's just, this world needs more kindness, and do what makes you happy.